Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. So we're going to get right to it. So question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Great. Thanks so much, Keith. Yeah, I'm Mike Wilson. I think I'm a unique, probably CEO, business owner that you've got. I have a day job where I work at the Arbinger Institute, where I'm the Director of Business Development and Client Services. And then I own some businesses. So I own a pizza franchise in Draper, Utah, Pier 49 Pizza. And I also own a business with my daughter. It's called Music for Good. And she's got about 40 million people that have listened to her music on YouTube and different places. And in process of starting a couple of other businesses. A lot of these are family instigated, and it's fun that way, I think, to be with family. A daughter, we're starting a business called Memory Ties, some ties out of Africa that are culture made. And my son's an entrepreneur who's always working on something, and we're working a sales kind of acceleration business. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Some fun stuff.
So a whole family of entrepreneurs. And by the way, the pizza's awesome. I love the pizza. All right. So question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
The best thing for me, I think, is seeing success. You know, I get a lot of energy when something works out and you're able to make it successful, whether success is making money or doing something good in the world or helping other people. But there's a lot of energy that comes from seeing success. I think just really tightly connected to that is seeing success of other people. A lot of these are family oriented businesses or people that I've become friends with, you know, working together, and seeing friend success, family success, and enjoying kind of each other's success and celebrating each other's success is really, I think, what drives me the most and is most fun about it.
That's awesome. And I like the fact that, you know, there's more than one way to define success, like you said. And so that's awesome that you include exactly all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the key is what other people define as success. It may not be what I define, but as I see them succeed, that's exciting, right? And that's joyful, and we can participate in that together, I think.
Awesome. All right. Well, question number 3. I hear from other leaders that people strategy is often more difficult or more challenging in their business than business strategy. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally agree with that. I work with a lot of CEOs in my business at Arbinger. We do a lot of development with leaders and working with CEOs and their teams. Usually they've got pretty good strategy. You know, I mean, sometimes things upend their strategy, and you've got to revisit that, right? With COVID and different things like that. But it's not going to matter if you don't have the people who are engaged and with you to execute on that strategy. For leaders, that people strategy has got to be key focus, you know, core focus for helping their business thrive.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good. So question number 4, what strategy would you like to share with other business leaders today?
I've been in the kind of consulting, training, development industry for many, many years. You know, I've landed at the Arbinger Institute, and so what I want to share is what they call the mindset model. Oftentimes, you know, when we're trying to get a new result, let's say there's a little pyramid here, and at the top of that pyramid is a little circle we call results. And when we want to try to get a new result, pretty much everybody focuses on behavior. So this first part of the triangle are behaviors. If we move those behaviors, we know we can get different results and better results. And that's absolutely true. Arbinger doesn't disagree with that at all. But oftentimes we're not able to move those behaviors, or we move them for a little while and they bounce back and the results bounce back. You might have a charismatic leader for a little while who comes in and makes a change, and people move, but the leader goes and the results go, you know, and you have different types of styles, you know, leaders, some that maybe are very micromanaging, and they can drive some results for a while, but it doesn't stick. It doesn't translate to culture. So the mindset model that Arbinger works on, it's got, you know, those results at the top, behaviors below. We've got to change those behaviors, but below that, there's something else, you know, going on. There's something else driving our behaviors, that informing our behaviors, and that's what Arbinger calls mindset. Now, there's a lot of people that talk about mindset today. Arbingers, as they talk about mindset, it's kind of in two ways. That we're either working with what they call an inward, self-focused mindset, or an outward, others inclusive mindset and impact focused mindset. So when I'm inward, when I'm very inward, it's like I know that I've got an important job to do and I'm focused on my job and I'm going to get that done, right? But sometimes, like the bull in the china shop, I don't realize the havoc that I'm wrecking, around me and the impact that that's having on other people. And with a very inward mindset, I can just go about my work that way. I can see others more as an object to me. They're more like vehicles that I use to get done what I need to get done, or an obstacle in my way of getting done what I need to get done, or maybe just irrelevant. And so when I'm inward that way, we call it being in the box, because we're blind to the impact that we're having on others and on the organization. It really is a negative impact. So as we can move outward, which means we really see others as people who matter like we matter. So not as objects, but as people. And we're alive to their challenges, their goals, their objectives. Doesn't mean that we're doing the work for them, but it means that we're alive to how we're showing up. And are we showing up in a way that's helpful to them to meet their goals and helpful to the organization to meet its goals? Or am I maybe getting in the way? And am I even aware of that? And so as we can shift that mindset from inward mindset to outward mindset, it makes huge differences in an organization. It's the foundation. I mean, there's a lot of other great behavioral solutions you can layer on top of that. But if you don't have the mindset right, that people culture is just going to crumble. We kind of use the analogy of seed and soil. So soil being the mindset, seed being more like the behavioral solution. You can have great communication skills, but if I'm using those with an inward mindset, it's toxic. It's not going to work. And other people know that and notice that. When other people feel like we're treating them as an object, we might be nice to them, but they can still tell that we're using them for what we need. That tears apart culture, tears apart collaboration, engagement. Mindset really moves and informs our behaviors. Then those behaviors will stick and change, and those results will stick and change for long term. So, mindset model is fantastic.
Well, great. Question number 5. What other business owners or CEOs like yourself would you like to acknowledge or you think would be good on this podcast?
Yeah. Oh man, there's a ton of them around there. Mitch Warner, he's owner and managing partner at the Arbinger Institute. Mitch is fantastic. And Jim Farrell. Jim Farrell is no longer at the Arbinger Institute, but was one of the core authors, along with others, of Leadership and Self-Deception and The Anatomy of Peace and The Outward Mindset. I also worked at Vital Smarts for a number of years here in Utah as well. Joseph Grenny, author of Crucial Conversations. Joseph and Al Switzler, a couple of people, and there are a couple of other authors, but those two in particular made a big impact on me.
Okay. Well, we're about out of time, but one final question. Question 6. Just a fun question. Tell me about your favorite past boss.
I mentioned Al Switzler. The way he went about engaging people was incredible. A couple of things he did. A quote he had was, "Hey, we want to do well by doing good," and so that's something I've always wanted to do. Let's do well. Let's do well in making a living, but let's do good with it. And there's lots of opportunities for that. He liked to help everybody feel like they were an owner, kind of structuring the company that way, so everybody has kind of a stake in the business, and that was fantastic. And then I just remember about Al. He would take me to lunch a lot, and he would never let me buy lunch. He would always buy lunch for me and for everybody else he took to lunch. And he said it's just that he learned so much, from other people. That's something he wanted to be able to do. He left definitely an impact on me the way he led and was a boss.
Well, great. Well, we're about out of time, but I enjoyed having you on today. And real quick, before we leave, tell people how they can get a hold of you or find you.
Yeah, definitely on LinkedIn. Love to connect on LinkedIn. Lots of Mike Wilsons out there, but search for Mike Wilson at Arbinger Institute. Also reach out on email, I think, mwilson@arbingerinstitute.com, or my personal email, Mike Wilson and the letter A @gmail.com.
Great. Well, thanks. All right. Well, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights, you can follow us on iTunes or at Weaver Business Coaching or on LinkedIn. And we wish you the best success.
Thanks, Keith.